This elegant home in Sydney's inner west faded over time. Kerry Kennedy bought it 30 years ago.
It was definitely the ugly duckling in the street. We kind of lived with that for a good 20 odd years, raised our kids here, and then we finally sort of managed to get enough together to give it some love and try and bring it back to original look.
Restoring it was a labour of love.
All the bricks that we took down, we cleaned and recycled, we did all that ourselves. So it was very hands-on. The whole family was involved.
Now this part of Marrickville is set to be transformed, and the entire street, let alone Kerry's house, is unlikely to survive.
In the colour coding that the council are using, we're in the red zone, which is the highest residential zoning that they're proposing. So I think right here would be 8 to 12 stories, yeah.
To tackle a shortage of affordable housing, the New South Wales Government is encouraging development by rezoning streets close to transport and shopping areas. In the inner west, the local council's come up with its own plan that's even bigger than the state government's proposal. Mayor Darcy Byrne says it's all about keeping the area affordable.
We're seeing an exodus of young people from the inner west. People who've lived here all their lives, who love the place and want to live here into the future, but simply can't find a home that they can afford.
Here in Sydney's inner west, Jersey Street, Marrickville is at the heart of the changes. Rezoning means that big apartment buildings are coming, around 10 stories, and that'll suit some residents because when developers come knocking, and they will, they'll offer as much as double market value. But for some, cash is cold comfort, as the reasons that they moved here in the first place vanish.
We're not here to make money, we're here to live.
I tell you what, if the exodus of young people from the inner west continues, we lose the heart and soul of the place. And so character and heritage, that's not just about buildings, it's about people as well.
Do you want Mommy to draw a horse?
Horse.
That's tough for some of the young families who already live here.
What noise does the chicken make? It does.
Elise Umbach bought her first home here last year.
We've formed a little village of neighbours who care about our family and always make a point of saying hello when you see them on the street. It's just a really lovely, close community vibe.
She heard of the proposed rezoning via a pamphlet in her letterbox.
It's like seeing everything you've worked so hard for just dissolve into meaninglessness. We didn't buy this place to get a short-term, super high windfall on an investment. We bought because we wanted to live here for at least a couple of decades, for our kids to go to the local school, to know our neighbours, to form a sense of community.
Can you bounce, bounce, bounce?
No one will have to leave. No one will be forced to sell their home. The only thing that will occur is that if people in a rezoned area choose to sell their home in the future, it will be for a higher value. So a home that was worth $2.5 million before might be worth $3.5 million in the future.
But if you've got a 9-storey plus high-rise going up right next to your backyard that blocks out all of the sunlight permeation into your home and eliminates any privacy you've got, would you want to live next to it, is what I don't think it's for us.
Elise says increasing housing supply doesn't mean the new homes will be any cheaper.
I'm not against the greater investment in social and affordable housing. Unfortunately, that's not what Council's proposing. I think it's 2% dedicated to affordable housing.
The council says it's still working on what proportion of the new homes will be not-for-profit housing. Planning Minister Paul Scully says the scale and speed of the changes is partly because of decades of overly tight restrictions on development. Is this not a way of saying that councils made it too hard for too long?
Yes,
Put simply, we didn't build enough homes in New South Wales for a long, long time. In New South Wales, we've been building 6 homes per 1,000 people for the last few years, the last decade or so. In Queensland and Victoria, they've been building 8 and 9. As a result, Sydney has become the second most expensive city on the planet.
The changes are happening across Sydney. A 75-minute drive from Marrickville in Sydney's Hills district, the commuter car park for the new metro line fills early.
Usually by 7:30 every morning, same with every commuter car park across the hills. So if you're not there early enough, you're not getting a spot.
And more people are coming, a lot more.
It is a TOD, so it's a transport-orientated development, so it's been rezoned for 11,300 units. So in that 1K between the two metros will be at least 23,300 people, and that's denser than the middle of the CBD in Sydney.
She says the area just isn't ready.
And we've got schools that are crumbling. We've got a primary school that has toilets from the 1950s. We've got a high school that's got 51 demountables and got a Wi-Fi problem. Our schools, our sporting fields are also at capacity. Clubs are turning kids away from playing sports.
Paul Scully says the new homes are always coming, and the roads, hospitals and schools will get there soon.
The Hills is part of the northwest growth area. It's long been identified as an area for future growth, and we've set housing targets on the basis of that continued growth. This is not something that was not ever going to be realised in the Hills. Perhaps it's quicker than the Mayor and the Council might have liked, but the reality is we're matching that housing growth with investment in the services that those communities need to make up for the infrastructure deficit that we inherited and the Hills were left by the previous government.
The new zoning rules restrict the ability of councils to block developments.
I welcome new housing in the Hills. I want everyone to come and live in the Hills because it's the greatest place on earth, but we need the infrastructure to go with it.